What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. We've got some fun news. We got some news in the best ball space. It's been a hot best ball summer. It's been fun. It's been interesting. What do we want to talk about first? Let's get into Mike Williams retiring. I mean, doesn't change anything for me. I haven't drafted Mike Williams a single time in pre-draft, big board time. Now I don't have a single share over 600 or so drafts of Mike Williams. So, I mean, if you drafted him, that's kind of on you. You probably should not have. I don't think he would have been anything regardless of anything. I was certainly never recommending drafting Mike Williams. Here we are. He's retired. We'll see what happens. We got Darkside Devin here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. We got Jamie Robbins in here. Keenan season. Maybe. I mean, he says he wants to stay on the West Coast. I would like to see him go with the Rams. I would like to see Keenan Allen sign with the Rams. They could really use a big slot like him. I think it makes perfect sense. That's where I would like to see Keenan Allen land. But it does open a door for the Chargers reunion as well. So we'll see what happens with Keenan Allen. I'm kind of easing off a little bit with Keenan Allen until he signs. I do have some shares. I'm going to keep drafting him here and there, maybe get down to like 8% overall, something like that, which is, I think, right around where I'm at. Yeah, we'll see where he signs, and then you can kind of take it from there. Fantasy Football Garage, what's up, man? Going live a little later tonight. The Ballsy episode on a Sunday with Bindles, and I think Pat from Fantasy Dog Pound's coming down. That should be a fun one. I'll probably try to check that out if once I wrap up here. Rams would be fun. KC is interesting. I mean, then it's like Rashee Rice gets even less valuable, which we'll get into, I guess, right now. Hartman's in here. GM, what's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. I got him a few times in pre-draft. He was the only backstack I thought was decent. Yeah, I mean, I just was drafting rookies in that type of a case. Obviously Trey Harris ended up being that guy, but I just didn't really care enough pre-draft with bringbacks and backstacks and stuff like that. So I didn't draft them a single time, and it is what it is. But we got Pat in here. Like I said, Pat's going on with Bindles and Candyman over there on the Fantasy Football Garage. I think this is a channel, so that'll be a fun one. Finally, some board movement, definitely. So let's get into the Rashee Rice. So we're talking Rams with Keenan. KC would be interesting for Rashee Rice, but if Keenan Allen signs with the Chiefs, then that's going to put even more of a damper on Rashee Rice's price. I personally, again, thought that was out of control. I was saying it the whole time during draft season. Even in the big board, I thought that was a little aggressive. And he was going, I think, the 3-4 turn in the big board. I thought that was aggressive. Now he's going at the 1-2 turn, or sorry, the 2-3 turn. That's nuts. Like, this was kind of always on the table, guys. Like, I know all the Twitter lawyers and stuff were talking like, oh, there won't be a trial. There's no trial date set. Are we really surprised that there wasn't a trial? When's the last time an NFL player has gone to a fucking trial? Like, when's the last time we've seen that? Honestly, guys, if we thought that was going to go to a trial, I think we're kind of losing it here a little bit. Like, it was always going to happen where he's going to settle with everybody involved, and then we'll see what happens. So it is what it is. I don't have hardly any shares of Rashee Rice. I did not agree with that price whatsoever. Emo Cowboys in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you. Didn't agree with the price. I'm not huge on the Xavier Worthy price either, but I do like it a little bit more than Rashee Rice. So either way, he's going to get suspended now. That clears the way. To be honest, I'm not sure what's taken so long. Like, the NFL has more or less all of the details. The interesting thing with Rashee Rice might be, and we'll see how true this is. It's still alleged, right? That, within a week of this racing incident, this accident, which, we'll talk about that a little more in a second here. But, within a week, he was at the club at like 3 a.m. and allegedly smacked a TMZ photographer. Like, obviously you're in the news like that. You got to keep your nose clean a little bit, and then allegedly too, I don't know how true this one is, but allegedly there was like guns and drugs in the vehicle or vehicles. I don't know how true that one is. That one's a little more far-fetched to me than the, assaulting a photographer. I'm pretty confident that did happen. But yeah, he obviously settled with everybody involved. But with regards to the accident, man, I don't know if everybody in the chat has seen that clip, but like, it's baffling that nobody got seriously injured or killed. Not only like the people, the regular bystanders that were in their vehicles, but any of those guys in the vehicles. Like, nobody got killed. Nobody got seriously hurt. That is crazy. If you watch that video, that is wild that nobody got hurt seriously. So if I'm the NFL, I throw the absolute book at Rashee Rice. Look at what just happened with Henry Ruggs. Obviously, somebody did die in that situation with Henry Ruggs, and he is now in prison. 30 days for Rashee Rice, whatever. That's obviously a slap on the wrist. I would throw the book at him and say, we got to nip this in the bud. We have to send a message. And this isn't a precedent thing. Like, people think there's already a precedent set. That's why everybody on Twitter saying 4 to 6 games, 4 to 6 games. That's what it's going to be. I disagree with that. I don't think there's a precedent at all here. The precedent is Henry Ruggs, essentially, or like, there's really no precedent here. So the NFL can do whatever they want. And if I'm the NFL, I send a message not only to current NFL players, incoming rookies, but college kids as well. I send a message saying, don't fuck around. Like, you're a role model, right? You can't be doing this kind of stuff. You can't. Like, you are your own brand. The NFL is your brand. I would give them I would give Rashee Rice 12 games. Maybe bring it back down to 10, whatever, with an appeal, which he obviously would appeal, something like that. But I don't know, man. Like somebody could have fucking died. Like, it's shocking that nobody got hurt seriously in that incident. So I would throw the book at him. I would send a message, a firm, hard message to the entire NFL and every single kid in college, incoming rookies, that this shit isn't going to fly. Like, we cannot have this, especially with all the other allegations. And that's the other thing. Like, people that were like, if you're surprised that it didn't go to trial, it's like, if you're Rashee Rice and you're his lawyer, you do not want them looking into shit. Because if there was weapons in the vehicle, if there was drugs in the vehicle, like, he's not only going to prison long term, like, he's not, don't worry about suspension. Like, he's going to fucking prison, man. Like, that's way, way worse. So you settle, you pay what you got to pay, you do what you got to do. And that's obviously what happened. There was never going to be a trial. So I don't know why we're all shocked that, we didn't know that this was always on the table, in my opinion, which is why I always thought that price was out of control. So subscribe to Off the Schneid. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, we'll see what happens. We'll see how long he gets suspended for. Again, if it's me, if I'm the NFL, I send a message to everybody in the NFL, to Rashee Rice especially, and I suspend him at least 10 games, if not 12. Let's talk about what happens. Let's say he does get 6 games. Let's be optimistic if we're Rashee Rice fans here and say that he does get 6 games. Okay. He sits out 6 games. He comes back week 7, takes 2 games to kind of get going, get acclimated, get back into it. And this is without signing Keenan Allen. If they sign Keenan Allen, then that's a whole other, bag of problems for Rashee Rice bag holders. But let's say they don't sign Keenan Allen. He comes back in week 7, takes 2 games to kind of get going, has a good, 3rd game after the suspension. Then it's a bye week 10. You're telling me you can advance your teams? Like, yeah, if he's a low owned, advanced piece, if you manage to squeak him through and he ends up being the guy that you need, okay, sure, but pretty unlikely depending on where his price lands. But there's people still taking him in like the 3rd, 4th round. So if you're telling me that you can get 60 points out of Rashee Rice inside of the first 10 weeks, and you're going to advance that team, good fucking luck, man. I'll tell you that. But we'll see. So we'll see how many games he gets. We'll see how this kind of, evolves and where it kind of lands. But that's my feelings on it with Rashee Rice. That's kind of always what I've been saying since it happened. look back last year, you can watch videos from my channel, and I'm telling you the same thing. So I don't know. It was always on the table for something like this to come up and for it to happen this season. And here we are. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a peek at the chat here. Tom Brady deflate gate. There's scandals. Can't wait to get my 5-6 round rice. Yeah, maybe like that's where I always thought that's exactly where I always thought it's like maybe 5th, 6th round. I might pick off some shares due to all of the potential risk that's involved with Rashee Rice. And now we might get it. So we'll see. I might get some shares of Rashee Rice if he does fall to the 5th to 7th, let's say 7th round. Yeah, we can definitely get some shares. But again, if he's out 6, 7, 8 games and then they have bye week 10, I'm still not taking him in the 5th or 6th round. Like, we'll see what the suspension ends up being. I'm not drafting him until I know how many games he's being suspended. Period. I'm not a huge believer in the Kansas City offense, or as it is. So I'm not gonna draft Rashee Rice until I know how many games he's getting suspended. But I thought the 5th or 6th round in the big board season pre-draft, I thought that was like where I might be willing to take a risk. But he's sitting there in the 3-4 turn. I'm out, man. So that's kind of where we're at. Al Boogie, what's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Yep, and beat up a dude. Yeah, people not talking about that. 8-10 game seasons on the table. Absolutely. Like, again, within a week, people are saying, like, shout out Who Hames. I'm not trying to talk negative about Who Hames at all. He's a Chiefs fan as well. But he was talking about, like, how he's been doing all the right things ever since and, like, paying the settlement and all that and, like, doing the right things. It's like, man, within a week, this dude was at the club assaulting photographers. Like, if you do something like that, I wouldn't show my face in public. I would get a lawyer. I would do everything possible to, like, mitigate the situation. I'm not out at the club at 3 a.m. And then, of course, somebody's going to try to take your picture and then you assault them, essentially. Like, man, not a good look. These NFL kooks are out of control. Yeah, you got to nip it in the bud, man. You got to send a firm message. And again, there's no precedent here. So that it's not like with the Judkins thing, like, there is actually a lot of precedent there, which is actually kind of fucked up that there's that much precedent for, sexual assault, harassment, physical assault, stuff like that. Like, it's sad that there is such a precedent in the NFL for that. So we'll see what he ends up getting as well, because that's a whole other story. He hasn't signed a contract. We'll see where that goes. That's a whole other thing. We talked about that. Still a lot going on right now. But with this, there's really no precedent. So I don't know where people are getting this 4 to 6 games thing from. Like, where are you pulling that out of your ass, man? Like, there's no precedent here. And if I'm the NFL, I send a message. So we got to get it under control. The NFL only makes an example when it comes to gambling, hence J-Mo Ridley. Maybe we'll see. It took them 2 years to even, there was the whole legal thing going on with Rashee Rice. So that, they've been pretty quiet. And again, they've had 2 years. So I don't know why they haven't suspended him yet or come out with something, but here we are. We sit and wait. Put him and Judkins in a cell for the season. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it's sad that there's such a precedent for what Judkins did, and there's not as much for Rashee Rice. But whatever. Send to solitary confinement. Yeah, just chilling by yourself. 0% Rice feels good right now, no doubt. If you have 0%, good on you. I have like 1 or 2 tops, where I got him in like the late third kind of thing before he got to, actually, I do know I have a Best Ball Mania where it was 3-4 turn and I got him and Worthy at the 3-4 turn and then brought in Mahomes. So I got him at a good price in my one Best Ball Mania that I think I have Rashee Rice. I guess I could pull it up if we really want to see it. Putt Daddy, what's happening, man? Appreciate you popping in. Last one we got, the Mario Addison, Jordan Addison suspension. We knew this was coming as well. Probably 3 games. He is a repeat offender as far as this is concerned. So he could get more. Like, he could get up to 3 to 5 games is what I would say. Something like that, but it's kind of already baked into his price because we knew this was coming. We knew this was going to happen, being a repeat offender. Again, I knew that this Rashee Rice situation was always on the table, and we all should have known that. But here we are. So that's the last one, the Jordan Addison situation. Then we got some fun stuff if we want to get into it. we got some fun stuff in the Twitter or the Twitter best ball community. Oh man, with Willie Knows Ball and Davis Maddock. That's awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. I love it. I love it. I still do not think that there's any response from Davis yet. Which, like, you got to respond, man. If you're being honest, like, you got to respond. Otherwise, you kind of just look silly. Like, Willie Knows Ball, just like that was a fatality, man. That was an absolute fatality. Like, if I'm play the song, I might be copyright. No, I know it's not. But Pat, thanks for the like. Appreciate you, man. Play the song. Should we play it? Can I play it? I don't know if you guys will hear it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see if it'll work. Just in case anyone has not heard it, but the fucking track slaps, man. It absolutely slaps. So let's see if we can play it. Can you guys hear it? Can you guys hear it?
He didn't credit anybody.
Dude,
He was like,
I could blow up this spot so much, should I?
yeah.
I checked the timestamps on it. I had dropped it in our ADP or our ship chasing chat. From the Willie Knows Ball guy is where I saw it.
It's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball. It's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball. It's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows. Yeah, it's Willie Knows Ball.
Okay, Davis, you ready for discourse? Heard you been talking this shit, but I'm talking my shit more. Put my pics all up in your Discord. Damn, hold on, I think you're fame. Talking about you don't even know who I am, but y'all on my page, so I know your stand. Damn, bitch, I'm the shit, but I'm not number two. You come against me, better know you gon' lose. I'm talking my talk while I do what I do. Hold on, you checking the news? How's your boy Jaden Blue? Word on the street that I'm hearing. Yeah, that boy snooze.
It's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows. It's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows Ball, it's Willie Knows.
Oh man, that is just you're cooked, man. Like, you are straight cooked, and it's fine. Like, it's a good thing. Like, if I'm Davis, like, if I'm Davis, oh man. All right, let's look at the chat here quick. Play the song. There you go. If you haven't heard it, and even if you have, it's always a good listen. He demolished Davis. Good for him. Some dude's got to be humbled 100%. We'll get into that a little bit. That Discord has to be wild, wild west, no doubt. You guys can hear it. Okay, we're good there. It's a classic, no doubt. The Cliff Notes. So let's get into it. Willie Knows Ball found the arrest report for Judkins. This guy had it first, literally, before Adam Schefter, before Ian Rappaport. Willie Knows Ball had it. I'm not sure what he's doing, looking through, random Florida County Police Department news, but good on him. And he found it, and he posted it, and he was first. The dude had it. All right. So good for him. Shout out Willie Knows Ball. And then Davis posted it like 30 minutes later, being like, oh, I'm breaking news here. And then Willie was like, you could just credit me. I like, you literally just screenshot what I posted and then reposted it. And now you're acting like you're breaking news over here. Right. And then he's like, I don't know who that guy is. And then in the I think it's Davis's Discord. I'm not really sure. I'm not a big Discord guy. I'm in a couple. I'm in Pat's, in the Fantasy Dog Pound. I'm in Spike Week's Discord. I don't say shit. I don't really do anything. I don't have time in my life for Discord, if I'm being honest, but it's in somebody's Discord and they're all talking shit. And, I don't know who this guy is, blah, 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 talking shit. And then Pete, like, I don't know why. And that's the other thing. I don't know why Davis thinks Pete's just going to like have his back and like protect him or some shit. So Pete just blows him up and puts it on there, which is hilarious. And then Willie Knows Ball drops that fucking dope ass diss track and just straight up like first round knockout, like, fatality, just dummies poor Davis Maddock. Just that's it. It's over. So if honestly, and he hasn't responded yet, which is kind of ridiculous. If I'm Davis, I would blow it up and be like, GG, man. Fucking GG. I'm done. I'm out. I'm not. That's it. And the longer it goes with him not responding, like the sillier it's gonna look. So if I were Davis, I would blow it up and just say fucking GG, Willie knows ball. You win, I lose. Like, 10-8, flawless victory. I'm not trying to come back on that. Like, clearly the guy fucking got bars, man. Like, I'm not trying to fuck with that guy. Like, from what I've seen on Twitter, dude's already in the lab hoping Davis fucking drops a response. Like, fuck that. I would be like, GG, man. You win. And I would blow it up and give the guys shine. Like, fuck. That's the other thing. I think Davis is just trying to avoid it until it goes away, not like to not give this guy any shine. But like, if it were me, like, why wouldn't you? Like, blow it up, give the guy some shine, and move on. Like, laugh about it. Who cares? It is hilarious and it's awesome and it's blown up. So like, double down on that and don't try to like, I don't know. That's what I would do. Because there ain't no coming back from that. So, yeah, you should lean in. That's what I'm saying. Like, lean into it, get on board, and just say fucking GG, man. You win. I'm not trying to play with this guy. Like, he clearly knows what he's doing. Like, guy's got fucking bars. I'm not trying to have that. If I'm Davis, I'm responding in a pop punk diss. That could work. But the longer he takes to do it, the sillier it's going to look. Deposit Kingdom Discord, cool. I don't care, man. I'm not trying to get in on that. Crutches made fun of Gritty. Fuck those guys. Yeah, I'm not. That was kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, that's the other thing too that I've been saying on this channel for weeks. Like, let's stop trying to change each other's mind. Let's stop trying to be right, man. No one's got this shit solved. No one. Like, no one. Don't give me that. And like, yeah, just stop trying to change each other's minds. Stop trying to be right. Like, just do your thing. And if people like what you do and they appreciate your content, cool. Like, and to be honest, like, I don't know who actually takes advice from Davis, guys. Like I don't know. If you like Davis, cool. I'm not a big fan. I actually I kind of don't like Davis, if I'm being straight up with you guys. Like, of the big guys, the big channels, like, I don't follow Davis on Twitter. I don't subscribe to his channel, I don't think. He just doesn't give good advice, guys. Like, how many times do we need like evidence of bad take after bad take after bad take to be like, I'm just not going to listen to this dude? If you watch him for entertainment, cool. Because like Pete, it doesn't actually give that much advice either. Like, if I'm being honest, he's not like a big, like, it's entertainment, and that's all good. That's what he does. And he does very, very well with it. Like, he's literally the number one kind of streamer out there, literally. So like, dude, whatever works. Davis is not. He is not that. Like, Davis is right there with Chess Liam, and Chess Liam actually gives legit good advice, good takes. So I don't know. That's my other kind of opinion on Davis. There is like, why do people subscribe to him? If I'm being honest, like, it's just like, how many times do we need to see the same thing play out before we're like, maybe I shouldn't take this guy's advice? I don't know. Pizza Man. Yeah. Pete's awesome. Like, he's not the type to he's not the type to protect anybody, and he'll give the little guy his shine. Like, Pete would have been like, yeah, let's bring on, he probably would have brought on Willie Knows Ball onto his show, and then like made a thing of it, which is the way to go. Davis owned people even told him he got caught in a lie. Just be a man and own it. No doubt, man. No doubt. Absolutely. Humility goes a long way. Lean into it, man. Lean into it and make a thing of it. That's what I would say. When and where can I find that Al Boogie? No doubt. I'm the best rapper in the best ball community, though. I need to see it. I need to hear it. Let's see it and let's hear it. Pete really does really good in DFS. Davis just chill guy that people like, I guess. I guess they like him. I don't know. I'm not a big Davis fan personally. And Pete does know his shit. Like, he actually really does. I've said this before, again, on obviously this channel. Like, Pete does. When he was on Fantasy Life, he still is with Fantasy Life, but when he was on the Sirius XM radio show, he doesn't do that anymore. But when he was on there, like, I listen to it almost daily when I'm in my truck, driving and working. Like, Pete does know his shit. He just doesn't do that on his channel typically. Like, he does, it's mostly for entertainment on his channel. But I'm not trying to like talk disparagingly about Pete Overzet over here. I'm not at all, because he does know his shit. He just doesn't really do that much on his channel. It's more about entertainment, that sort of a thing. And the news stuff that he does is great too. And like the Spags thing happened, and bring guys on, and just the other kind of stuff that he does. I like Pete a lot. I'm not trying to talk bad about Pete. You could definitely say I'm talking poorly about Davis Maddock. That's fine. You could definitely say that. I'm not saying that about Pete Overzet. That's for sure. Pete's still sharp as fuck while being entertaining. Absolutely. I'm not trying to speak negatively about Pete Overzet over here. You could definitely say that I am about Davis, but not Pete. That's for sure. I'll DM you, Mike. Crutch just posted a pic of someone walking autistic kid and walking. You do not see that, Gritty, man? That's pretty uncool. Like, this Crutches dude, like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know, whatever. Check it out. It's just not a fan of this Crutches dude. That's for sure. I know the name on Underdog. I don't like him. Obviously, like, yeah, I don't like that. That's pretty fucked up what he did and what he said. So yeah, but either way, it's yeah. Why can't we be friends? Why can't? Yeah. Anyways, let's rip some drafts, guys. Let's rip some drafts. We're gonna get our final little bit of puppy volume in before it closes. This is it's at 84%. I want to get to 50, so I have about 18 more drafts to do. Let's rip a couple of them. We're doing a 20-second draft. Jump in if you want to jump in. Waiting on 7. We got tons of space. So let's rip some drafts. Let's talk about fun stuff. The Twitter beefs are hilarious. I like the ones that are legit and they are like this one for between Davis and Willie. Like, that could have been really hilarious and a really big fun thing that could have really worked out. You know what I mean? Instead, we got this like weird standoff going on, but whatever, and then there's like the fake guys that are trying to like create fake drama. Like, yeah, there's some people out there, if you want me to name names, I guess I will. I don't really care, but there's like the fake wannabe beef starters out there that are, trying to start shit, trying to like make a name for themselves by like starting shit with people, fake shit, just talking mess, don't really have much respect for those guys, because it's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, just do your thing. And if people like you, cool. If they don't, they don't. Who gives a shit, man? It's fake life anyways, man. Like, Twitter's fake life. YouTube is fake life. I am how I am in real life. Like this, you want my true opinion on someone, ask me and I'll give it to you. I really don't believe in talking shit behind people's backs and whatnot. Like, I truly believe that if you can't say something into someone's face, then you shouldn't say it at all. So, I'll say what I got to say if I have to. How about the Ocho Cinco versus Chris Carter beef? How you feel about that as a Bengals fan? I don't know about that one. I don't know what that's about. If you want to give me a quick rundown, I don't know what that. I haven't heard that. I haven't seen that. I've been painting the baby room and getting rid of the tape today, so I haven't been on my fake life too much today. I'm not on Twitter, living carefree over here. That's the way to be, man. To be honest, that's the way to be. Eric, who's Eric? Are you new to the channel? Appreciate you if you are. Is that BBG in his burner or what? Who are you talking about in particular? Which one? The fake beef starter guys that are trying to like start fake beef out there? Is that who you're asking? Let's do CMC. Only 2 shares. Definitely want to get a few more shares of CMC. Let's see who's in the draft. We got Antwall over here. We got Darkside Dev right there. King of Kings, Frank at the 8 spot, going to be sniping me all day. Go Lancers, I see a lot. That's definitely a name everybody probably knows if you draft a lot. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but hit him with the gritties in here. Appreciate you. Chaito, I know he's I think in the chat. Foosball Boy, I like that name. King QC at the 1 spot. Not sure if he's in the chat. If you're in the chat, let me know, or just lurk. Do what you got to do. Can I tell you how I really feel about Pat? Yeah, man. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. You're new. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you popping in. We're almost at 600 subscribers. We might even be there, by the end of this show. So appreciate that. King QC's in here. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you popping in. Should be a fun draft. Tough room, that's for sure. Yes, fake beef. The biggest one right now that's trying to like start beef with everybody and anybody and trying to like get himself some shine that way is Ray Zanny. He's doing it a lot for sure. Like he was doing it with Davis. He's still doing it with a lot of people. Where I kind of like got annoyed with it is when he tried to go after my guy, Emo Cowboy. I ain't having that. Like Emo's my guy. So, not about that. He tried to go at Emo Cowboy, trying to start beef. He's just always doing that, trying to start shit and thinks it's going to lead to him getting invited onto shows or something. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what is like, what he's trying to accomplish with this, but whatever. Do your thing. Do your thing, dog. Should we do Bowers? Let's bring up T. Bring up T a little bit. Don't need Tyreek here. Again, I've got 31% Tyreek in the puppy 2. I'm listening to Chaito. There he is. Nice. We got a friends and family in here. Al Boog's coming after starting beef. Al Boogie. I don't know if you want to start a rap battle. Pat says he's the number one rapper on Twitter, man. I don't know if you want to start a rap battle, Boogie. He'll come at you, man. Pat's got bars. Fuck all that shit. The only story today was Scotty fucking Scheffler. Yeah, although that doesn't fulfill him. I saw there's all these hilarious, there's an emo meme of him with like black lipstick, black hair, and he's like, just doesn't fulfill me. But actually that's pretty common with athletes, to be honest. Like once you reach the pinnacle, it's like, hey, like what now? Like what's next? Like what do I do with myself? Who was that this year? Wasn't that AJ Brown? I believe this year was like, okay, we won the Super Bowl. Okay, now what do I do? Like a lot of athletes actually get there once they hit that peak, they reach the pinnacle. It's like, what now? But and then guys like Trevor Lawrence got shit on for saying like football isn't my life. Like it's not who I am. It's not who I am as a person, and that's true. Like it's not. So it's interesting the way the double standard and the way people look at it. But Scotty Scheffler for sure. What is he one away from I think he's one away from the Grand Slam now. I want to say the PGA or US Open. It's one of those two, obviously, but he's one away from the Grand Slam, I believe. I don't know that guy. Thankfully, I muted him. I probably muted him. It was probably a good idea, to be honest with you. Chris Carter was just being a dick and randomly started comparing himself to Ocho Cinco because Ocho talking smack to Travis Hunter, but clearly in a playful way. I think Ocho would win that one. Like, say what you want about Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. Like the dude was at one point in time one of, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. Like the dude would legit tell the corner in front of him what his route was going to be and still cook him, send them shoes before the game. Like Chad Johnson was the dude for like a 3-year period there. Like he was the guy, one of them. He was definitely one of the top 3 wide receivers in the NFL. Not that Chris Carter didn't have a phenomenal, Hall of Fame career too, but and either way, what I'm getting at is like Ocho Cinco is probably going to win that battle, most times. I'm a fan of Willie Knows Ball tracks. They're in good fun. Absolutely. He crushed that. Like absolutely crushed it. Oh, Boogie's reeling now after Pat's threatening to drop some bars. Boogie's backtracking. Biggie Smalls, what's beef? Are you drafting Josh Jacobs this year? I'm drafting him myself, trying to mix him in. Yeah, I am trying to mix him in for sure. I don't love the volume that he had last year. That's concerning to me. We saw him get volume like that earlier in his career, and he fell off the next season. So 340, crushes it, has a phenomenal season. Following season gets hurt, has a bit of a backtrack. This year, 300 again. We could see another kind of off year from Josh Jacobs, but they have legit one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Where are we going here? Man, I'm drafting a lot of DJ Moore in this tournament. I think it's just Jaden, I guess. Like, I'm always happy to take Jaden. Maybe Hampton. Let's go Hampton. Let's get our shares of Hampton up. I got to get my shares of Hampton up in Best Ball Mania. But if I can get them at a little bit of a discount, I'm going to do that while I can. But it sounds like Najee Harris is in meetings, which means his eye is probably fine. But we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, I am drafting them because, again, they probably have the best offensive line in the NFL, if not the best, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. And looking at the way he ended the season, that could be how they go into the season and just say, like, what are we doing? Let's give Josh Jacobs the ball. Does he stay healthy? I don't know. It is a little bit rich where he's going, but it is a good spot as far as like range and tiers. Like, give me Josh Jacobs probably over Bucky and over Chase Brown pretty much for sure. So he does go where he kind of should. It's just an odd range because of all of these quality wide receivers in this range. And then the tight ends, I think, are in this range as well. Like, I would push Brock Bowers down to here, and Trey McBride's already there. Tyreek's there, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison. There's all these other options. So I don't take him as much as I probably should. But I am drafting Josh Jacobs. I just need to try to get my shares up a little bit. Let's see where I'm at in all tournaments. 2.8%. There you go. Not enough. Not enough. So there you go. Looking at, let's give a shout out to Best Ball Overlay. That's what you see here. Best Ball Overlay. Pat in the chat. That's his baby. Let's make this pick first. We're going to go Waddle. Absolutely. Go Waddle here. Yeah, what you should do, regardless, I've been telling people for months and months and months, what everybody should be doing. US Open is what he's missing. There we go. That's what I thought, okay. What everybody should be doing is go over to bestballoverlay.com and start a free account. Everybody should do that. There's free tools in there. Like, whether you pay for it or not is up to you. If you feel like you need it or want to use it, promo code OTS down in the description saves you $10, 25% off. But everybody should go make a free account over at bestballoverlay.com. Take advantage of the free tools. That's my pitch. If you feel like you need it, you got the promo code down there. Hit it up, but make a free account is the way I see it. I'm not in the draft, but I'm in every stream. Just can't comment because I'm at work. Nice. Appreciate you popping in, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Little comment. Appreciate you popping in. Not everybody has to comment, but I appreciate you popping in. Who Ames? What's up, man? Appreciate you. People think superficial eye injuries aren't a real thing. Fighters pop blood vessels in their eye all the time. Doesn't mean they just go blind. Najee is likely going to be fine. I think so too. I'm still drafting Najee. I'm kind of buying the dip, but I was already drafting him at his previous cost. So I'm actually trying to level out my shares of Najee. I am still drafting him. I think he's a fine click. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Najee. Definitely still taking him. That would have been a tough, between Odunze and Joe Burrow. But I'm going to go Burrow, pair him up with T. I've got Waddle as a bring back in week 16. Let's do that. I can always bring in a Baltimore Raven. I might look at what I want to do in week 17 then, because I don't want to do Michael Wilson, at least not too. I have too much Michael Wilson as this bring back because he's the only later kind of piece. I guess I could do Trey Benson and feel okay with that. But I might just look at a different, pairing for week 17. I might have gone a Dunze there, pair him up with Christian McCaffrey, but then I would be sacrificing Joe Burrow. So I'm okay with that. We'll sleep in the bed. Pacheco at 61 stolen from me. Holy moly, 61. 61 for Pacheco. Remember when you guys, people were, maybe not you guys, but remember when people were making fun of me for taking Isaiah Pacheco at 120 in the big board? That's aggressive to take him at 61. But yeah, people were, making fun of me for taking Pacheco at 120 in the big board. 120. And now he's going at pick 61. Half. I'll take that. I will take that. My girlfriend has gotten many superficial eye injuries by accident. Dang. How super were they? She survived, eh? Jeez. No comment. No comment over here. I haven't taken Chris Godwin once in this tournament. That's kind of wild. I might have to click him here if he's there. I don't know if he falls to me. I'm a little leery about Montgomery this year, but I have clicked him a time or two. But I am a little leery about Montgomery personally. Another injury. I just think the Lions are going to, I certainly think they're going to regress. Let's go Chris Godwin here. Nice discount. Pair him up with Waddle. I definitely think the Lions are going to regress this year. I think they're going to have not a tough year. They're going to be a winning team, but I don't think that they win that division. I've already bet the Bears to win that division. I think the Packers are certainly live to win that division. You could definitely say the Vikings are live as well, but I actually would like the Packers probably as potentially the front runners. But Levi Onwuzurike just torn ACL out for the season. So the defense is getting hit, retirements on the offensive line. Taylor Decker, their left tackle, is on the PUP. Like, there's a lot of pieces already missing, and the coaching staff just got decimated. So I'm a little leery on the Detroit Lions. I think they have a bit of a down year, but that could equal fantasy points. So we'll see. But there's definitely reason to be concerned with the Detroit Lions. I was taking Pacheco, Swift, and Spears super late in the big board. Yeah, I mean, maybe not enough Swift and Spears for me. Spears I think I was getting, but I have a lot of Pacheco. My average pick for Pacheco, I think, was pick 100 and something, I think. So yeah, it was definitely a good click, I felt like. Let's just do Baker and be done at quarterback. And then I've got my week 17 thing with Waddle. So week 16 and 17 for Waddle as a bring back. That's kind of fun. Pair him up with Chris Godwin. I like that. That is fun. It's a fun little squad. Yeah, it's a fun little squad for sure. CMC, Hampton, T. Higgins, JSN, Waddle, Godwin. Quarterbacks, I'm done for sure. Yeah. 10-7 or 11-6 for Lions. Yeah. Does 10-7 win the division? I don't think so. 11-6 might. I don't know if they get there. We'll see if they get hit by more injuries and how they look with the new offense. And there's a lot more kind of question marks on that team than there was last year. That's for damn sure. And their defense struggled mightily last year. Hutchinson could even take some time to get back realistically. That was a pretty horrific injury. So he could take some time to get back to full strength, full health, that sort of thing. So we'll see. Where he's got to be. Okay. Interesting. I'm probably not going to risk it for the biscuit. I'm not going to take Mark Andrews, Frank. He's yours if you want him. but I am just going to take Bateman here. That way I've got stacks with Cincy in weeks 15 and 16, and then a Tampa Bay thing in week 17. So let's do that. I think Frank probably would want Mark Andrews anyways instead of Bateman, because he does have Zay Flowers. So we'll see where that lands. But I'm not in the Baltimore Ravens business anymore after that pick. Regardless of the record, Lions are projected to be one of the top offenses. That's all I care about. Yeah, exactly. Like if their defense is bad again, it might mean it's good for their fantasy production. So yeah. But that's what's got me a little leery on David Montgomery particularly. That's the one piece that I'm not particularly on is David Montgomery. So everyone else I'm fine with. I don't love the Laporta price. I wish it would fall a little closer to where TJ Hawkinson's going, but I do get some Sam Laporta shares. So yeah, other than that, it's Montgomery. I'm not loving the situation for Montgomery, so I'm not drafting him a crazy amount. Everyone else I'm fine with. I thought Casey would for sure use one of the first 3 picks on running back, so I faded, but I'm in now. On who wins? I'm massively in on Rashard Smith. I'll tell you that. Massively. He's one of my highest exposed players, period, across the entire draft season. I'm going to go Njoku here. No, I'm not. I'm going to go Charbonnet. No, I'm not. I'm going to go. Oh, no. Jeez. I should have gone Tucker Kraft. Well, let's lock up the Chargers. That's yeah. That could be worse. That was definitely not what I wanted to do, but it could definitely be a lot worse. I should have went Tucker Kraft, maybe Christian Kirk. Tucker Kraft would have been the good click with a Bateman bring back here. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. It's kind of fun, actually. Especially when I have Christian McCaffrey, I can still stop at 5. This is just such a high-powered running back, offense that locking down the running back for the Chargers is really not that bad of an idea. Rather have gotten like a discount on it, but c'est la vie. That's annoying, but that's how she goes. Even Burden would have made some sense there. Yeah, that's all right. It's one of these two. Definitely done a quarterback. I could still stop at 5 running backs, but we'll see where it lands. Burden would be fun with the Christian McCaffrey stack for week 17. Let's do that. That is a good time. Lions just lost their D-line for the year today. Yeah, Levi Onwuzurike, just mentioned it. He's out for the year, torn ACL. So again, there's pieces dropping like flies kind of on the Detroit Lions. That's why, Levi Onwuzurike is his name. So, yeah, they're just gonna if they keep getting hit with injuries, retirements, things like that, it's gonna be a tough season, especially with the coaching staff turnover with the Detroit Lions. So, who's picking up Fant? I thought the Miami Dolphins would be a great spot for Noah Fant. I think that makes more than all the sense in the world. So that's where I would like to see Noah Fant go. I think that makes a crazy amount of sense. Go in there. He could easily be the starter there over Waller. I haven't drafted a single share of Waller, and you can't make me. But that's where I think he should go. Where else? I don't know. I was going to look through. I ran out of time before the show started here. I was going to look through the NFL rosters and see if I could find another solid landing spot. But realistically, it's Miami right now. Jets, maybe. I like Mason Taylor and Jeremy Ruckert, enough. I like those guys enough that I'm not too worried about it. Let's do Javonte Williams here. 3.4%, maybe one time. I think he ends up leading this team in snaps. There's the Blue news. I don't make too much of that Jaden Blue news that he's lazy and all that. That could just be the coaching staff trying to light a fire under his ass, get him going, get him to take that job, take a stranglehold on that job. That could be all that is, sort of thing. So I'm not buying in too much on the Jaden Blue news that he's lazy. I don't necessarily believe that. Like, Sark is a fantastic coach. Steve Sarkisian from Texas. He's a fantastic coach, and I don't think he would, allow that. So I don't know if I believe that. But regardless, I still think that Javonte is going to lead that team in snaps. Jets, maybe. Dang, not good for Mason. No, I don't think the Jets make sense. I think they like Ruckert enough. And I mean, if there's some connection with Aaron Glenn or something, or Tanner Angstad, the OC and the head coach, if there's some connection there, I would say, yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think, but yeah, Miami, he could push Waller out, I think, as well. So Miami would be the spot that I would kind of like to see the most, but we'll see where that goes. We're going to do, this is looking like a 2, 5 or 6, 7 or 8, and 3 tight ends. Definitely 3 tight ends, that's for sure. Down at quarterback, for sure. Let's bring in Xavier Leggett. Pair him up with the Tampa Bay week 16. And then also Seattle week 17. So that's nice. Get a double bring back there, double whammy on the bring back. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. That feels good. I like this team with outside of the Najee kind of panic click. I think this is going to work out just fine. So, and realistically, it would have been Tucker Kraft over here. Pretty much for sure would have been the kind of correct click, but it is what it is. It's how she goes. Dylan Sampson kind of flying up the board. I just got him earlier today at 163. That felt okay. That's good value for Antwall there on Jake Ferguson. That is pretty good value right there. Bigsby goes. Frank probably takes Sampson. Yeah, he does. Okay. We're going to just do Gesicki right here. Pair him up with our Joe Burrow double stack. Cincy, we got our bring back in Jalen Waddle. Bring back in Rashad Bateman. That's something that's not showing up for the best ball overlay. I was going to reach out to Pat on that one, probably maybe in the Discord on Twitter, but the week 15 matchups are not showing up as far as like the highlighting of the bring back, the matchup. So this should be highlighted right here. It's obviously not, so not a huge deal, but something. It's something that kind of needs to be addressed and corrected at some point. So fire that off. It's, tonight, maybe get that corrected. This is a fun team though. This is a really fun team. I do like how it's shaping up. One guy that I do want to get more way more exposure to is Chig Okonkwo. It won't be on this team. So if you're looking at Chig and you want to draft him, you can get him. I'm not going to be drafting Chig Okonkwo because he overlaps with Mike Gesicki on bye weeks. But I do want to get a whole lot more shares of Chig Okonkwo in the coming days and weeks. So that's definitely a target for me right now. 4 more picks. It's going to be 2 tight ends, 1 more running back, and then either running back, wide receiver. I haven't decided yet. I'm not sure it completely matters either, but that's our plan. We're just going to bring in Cade Otton here as well. Pair him up with our Tampa Bay. So we've got double stack Tampa Bay. Bring back with Waddle. Bring back with Leggett. And I like that it's, my tight ends, and then I'm bringing it back with a wide receiver in each matchup, and I have 1 wide receiver. So I like that kind of continuity there. The construction looks juicy. So I do need 1 more tight end, which is not the end of the world. 2 vets, so I can kind of do whatever I want at tight end there. Definitely another running back. It won't be Brashard Smith on this one. And then it really thins out down here. I don't like if I get to this point in the draft, I'm just going to take a wide receiver instead. After a couple of these names go off the board, I'm just going to take a wide receiver instead. I just don't think Kareem Hunt, Taj Brooks, Mostert, I just don't think these guys are going to offer anything to my roster. So I'm going to take DJ Giddens here, because basically it's Giddens. It's these rookies like Giddens, Hunter, Smith. I've got 34.5% in the puppy. I've got 30% in even Best Ball Mania. Same thing with Brashard Smith. So once these names are off the board, I do take a little bit of Keaton Mitchell, about 10% there. You might see a spattering of Kyle Monagai with 1-2%, something like that. Same thing, Taj Brooks, 1 or 2%. But other than that, Woody Marks, again, a few percent. I'm still clicking Woody Marks, maybe a couple Trevor Etienne as well. I'm still clicking Audric Estime once in a blue moon. So, 3% here, whatever, one pick, right? So once in a while, I'll click an Audric Estime. I still think that there's some value there. So, but other than that, unless I'm desperate for a running back, I'm just going to say, no, I'm going to take a wide receiver. So in this instance where I have to believe Christian McCaffrey is going to bounce back and be the guy. If not, this team's fucked anyways. And then I'm locking down the Chargers backfield, right? So that feels good. I'm definitely getting 2 quality running back scores. You'd want to believe. And then Javonte Williams, if I think he leads this team, and then my injury upside rookie DJ Giddens. After that, it's who is going to add much value to this team? Brashard Smith goes to King QC, great click, but who's going to add value to this roster realistically? I don't see anybody on here. Maybe you could say, Keaton Mitchell, but I've already got my Rashad Bateman kind of bring back. I just don't think it makes sense. I could team stack, sure, but I just don't think it actually makes a lot of sense to do that. So I'm going to just take another wide receiver is what I'm going to do. Sneeze number 1. Over under is habitually set at 2, 1.5. So we're gonna just take Ferguson here and lock up our 3rd tight end. So we'll see if I get the over on sneezes. There's 1 there, so we'll see. Wrap it up with our tight end room. I like this texture too. 2 quality vets, get a rookie in there, feels good, looks good, plays good. And then we're just going to wrap it up with the wide receiver. Like I said, I just think that's what gives you the most value at the end of drafts here. There's really nobody in this running back, area that I think is like a must-have for my roster. So I'm super correlated, which is really fun. Got a lot of correlation going on. I would have even more if I had, instead of Ferguson, if I had Tucker Kraft. But that's okay. Went a different route there. So we'll take one more wide receiver to wrap this up, and then we'll rip another draft here. Cam Ward is going to be a baller. Maybe. I don't think so in his rookie season. I'm not drafting Cam Ward at all in anything meaningful. I might mix him in like a puppy or something. Same with Xavier Restrepo. I'm trying to get it like this is the perfect build, 2682. So shout out Frank, super sharp. I'm going to do Elijah Moore, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I'm trying to mix in, again, 2% probably Xavier Restrepo. I just want a couple shares of him because he could, make this roster and be the slot receiver, his college quarterback. He could do some good things. So I'm trying to get just a little bit of Xavier Restrepo. So I like that. But Elijah Moore, I think, is a phenomenal click right now. Like if camp opens and there's an injury, if there's one injury to either Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, or Josh Palmer, Matt Collins is already on the pup. If there's an injury to any of those three, it's Elijah Moore to the moon, man. Like it's the wide receiver 4 on one of the best offenses in the NFL. I don't know why we're not I'm trying to load up right now on Elijah Moore because when camp opens in a week, if he starts balling, which he kind of was in OTAs, and his teammates were already talking him up, man, he could kind of skyrocket. So I'm trying to load up on Elijah Moore right now. I just think there's tons of value in him right now. And we'll see, at worst case scenario, he still makes the team and he's the wide receiver 4 throughout the entire season and still has some value. But let's look at his career. Look at Elijah Moore throughout his career. Almost, averages probably pushing 100 points, fantasy points. And he's still he's 24 years old. 24 years old. And this is not even arguably, this is the best team in offense he's ever played with, best quarterback he's ever played with. He's coming off a career season in catches. Yeah, I don't know what I'm missing here. I'm not sure what I'm missing. 2 away from his career and record in targets. 1 touchdown, that's an issue, but gets to run the ball a little bit. I don't know what I'm missing with Elijah Moore. I'm loading up right now personally. So yeah, Cam Ward might be a baller, but I'm not drafting him this year personally. You checking out who's advancing in this pod? We can. You want to go through them? Let's go through them. We got some time. So we finished 2583. One of my favorite type of builds. This is probably my favorite roster construction. I think it equals the highest potential ceiling on a week in, week out basis sort of thing. So 2583, I got Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. I think that's great. Stop at 2. Absolutely. Let's go. Love it. Christian McCaffrey, Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, and DJ Giddens. Obviously, it's a little thin, but if CMC is the guy, then we're good. I'm fine, right? Period. So we'll see how that works out, but I like it. It'll work. Should be fine. T. Higgins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Waddle, Godwin, Bateman, Burden, Liggett, and Elijah Moore. I like that a lot. Tons of firepower. I got a lot of correlation, a lot of bringbacks. Should be fun. If this advances, it should be in a good spot. Mike Gesicki, Cade Otton, and Terrence Ferguson. This is a really fun team, in my opinion. I like this one a lot. So should have a good shot at advancing, I think. Realistically, I'm not at much of a disadvantage anywhere. I don't think. I don't think anywhere is really thin except for potentially running back, but only if Christian McCaffrey isn't the guy. If Christian McCaffrey isn't fully healthy, then yeah, any team that you draft him in the first round, the team's kind of screwed. So, yeah, if that's the case, then it should be fine. Let's go with King QC 3662. So he finished probably with wide receiver. Maybe. Let me know in the chat, King QC, who you drafted with that last pick there. Bo Nix, Drake May, Sam Darnold. I like it. That's good. I like that. 2 second-year quarterbacks and then your savvy vet. Bye weeks are fine. I like that. That's fine. Bucky, Kenneth Walker, Caleb Johnson, Rashad White, Jerome Ford, Brashard Smith. I like this a lot. That's well done. That's a really fun running back room. Tough room we got here already, hey? King QC, solid drafter. Jamar Chase, he drafted MBS, so we paired him up with Sam Darnold and K-Walk. We got Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Stephon Diggs, Higgins, Hollywood Brown, Tillman, and MBS. The wide receiver room would be the one like thin spot, which like is going to happen when you take Trey McBride. So Trey McBride and JT Sanders in the tight end room, that's going to happen. I'm glad you take 2 there. That makes sense. I'm not taking 3 ever if I'm taking Trey McBride, but it's going to be somewhere. When you take Bucky and you take Trey McBride, it's going to be thin somewhere. And it worked out being the wide receiver room's a little thin. There's some question marks, obviously. You know, Sutton's even a question mark. Diggs, obvious. Hollywood's obviously a question mark. Tillman's got the concussion issues. MBS is just, you know, a one-play type of a guy. But I don't mind the texture of the team. I definitely like the the running back room. I like the quarterback room. I like the tight end room. Chase is going to carry this wide receiver room. Higgins is going to, you know, have to play a big factor. But either way, I like the team. That's for sure. Chaito. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but we got Kyler Murray and Brock Purdy. I'm good with that. I'm happy to stop at 2 there. Bijan, James Cook, David Montgomery, Charbonnet, Garendo. I like that. I'm happy to stop at 5 as well. I like that room. Ladd, Marvin Harrison, Hunter, Jennings, QJ, Bryant, Wandale, and Keenan Allen. I like that. That makes sense. That works. We got some correlation with Garendo, Jennings, obviously Harrison with Kyler. I like that. That's a fun team. Njoku, Smith, and Schultz. I do think you needed 3, so that's good. I like this. This is tough room, hey? Tough room. But everybody stayed out of each other's way for the most part. And everybody built solid teams. So solid squad right there. I don't really have too much negative to say about it. Yeah, solid squad right there. Quality drafters, tough room. We got hit him with the gritty. That's typical gritty build right there. That's all right. Definitely does his thing. And I would have stopped at just Josh Allen and Justin Fields, but I know he likes to draft 3. That's fine. It is what it is. Little overkill, in my opinion. But there you go. JT, Alvin Kamara, Stevenson, Jalen Wright, Braylon Allen. I like that room. I'm happy to stop at 5 as well. That works. CeeDee Lamb, Jameson Williams, Keon Coleman, Demario Douglas, Pierce, Mitchell, and Jalen Polk. A little risky on the Jalen Polk, obviously, but paired him up with double bring back on the Jets, which is kind of interesting. I don't mind that type of a, you know, double bring back on a rushing quarterback. I kind of like it. Triple bring back. I'm not sure I can get behind that, Gritty. I'm not sure I can get behind a triple bring back. You know, you're obviously buying into the offense. I don't know if I can kind of all the way get there with the offense. And it's a triple bring back against Buffalo week 15 as well. Yeah. Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson, and Dalton Kincaid. Double stack Goff with the bring back in Hawkinson. I don't mind that. I kind of like, I don't mind some of the things you did here. That's for sure, Gritty. Like, I like I did it as well, where I focus on, so for me, it was the Bengals in weeks 15 and 16, and then Tampa Bay in week 17. So I kind of like that. Like, that's kind of what happened here. We got Buffalo versus New England week 15, and then the Jets versus New England in week 17. So I don't mind that. It's definitely not a build that I would do, but you know, it's typical for a gritty build, and I'm not going to say it's wrong. That's for sure. 2682 for Frank, King of Kings. We got Lamar Jackson, Caleb Williams. This is one of my favorite builds as far as my quarterback room. So I like that. Happy to stop at 2. Achan, Warren, Tootin, Sampson, Shipley, and Sanders. Definitely like that. That'll work. I think you did need 6, so I don't mind that. That's well done. Nakua, Zay Flowers, Odunze, Pearsall, Igbuka, Dobbs, Dubs, Nuke Hopkins, and Xavier Restrepo. I like that. Kittle and Loveland. Yeah, just people building solid teams over here. So we got double stack Chicago. We got a bring back in San Francisco. We've got a Green Bay bring back. No Cleveland bring back, but we do have a Cleveland bring back for Chicago. So that's clearly the focus. Bring back for Baltimore with Dobbs, single stack Zay. Don't mind that. Yeah. Solid teams. Everybody's just building solid teams out here. This is going to be tough. Who is going to advance? I don't know. I don't know who's going to advance on this one. We got Justin Herbert and Bryce Young. That might be a touch precarious. It's close for me to stop at 2. I don't hate it. It's a little risky, definitely, but it's a little precarious. I don't hate it though. 2682. We got Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Harvey, Mason, Algier, Bigsby. I think you could have got away with 5. I really think you could have got away with 5 for sure. Henry and Hall, Harvey, Mason, those are all solid clicks. You're drafting 4 running backs inside the top 100. I probably stop at Algier or Bigsby, either one, and only take 5 running backs and probably bring in another quarterback personally. Drake London, McMillan, Debo, Golden, Harris, Coker, Thornton, and Tesla. I like the Tesla click. That's another one of those guys at the end of drafts where I'm saying like draft a wide receiver instead of a running back. That's kind of the types of guys, right? Tyler Warren and Mason Taylor. So I probably would have stopped at 5 running backs and either brought in another tight end or another quarterback is probably what I would have done. 2 rookies is a little sketchy for me. I would have brought in a chaperone, to guide these guys, but I don't hate it. It's a fun build. Antwall in the 10 spot, and then we'll rip another draft. We got Trevor Lawrence, 3573, Trevor Lawrence, Penix, and Shuck. I'm not drafting Tyler Shuck at all, but I can't blame you for bringing in a 3rd quarterback here. So kind of easy come, easy go. Genty, Hubbard, Connor, Pollard, Scatabo. I like that. That's fine for 5. I don't mind that. Neighbors, McLaurin, Evans, Mooney, Shaheed, Thielen, Diami Brown. That works. I'm fine with that. Brenton Strange, Ferguson, and Juwan Johnson. Don't mind that. Pretty balanced. Just super, super balanced, obviously. Super balanced. You got some bringbacks. You got some stacks. I don't mind that. I like that. New Orleans. Yeah. You got some bringbacks. You got some stacks. That'll work. It's an interesting build. Yeah. Yeah, I think he did what he had to do. On that one. So I don't mind it. Jalen Waddle said Elijah Moore is the most underrated receiver in the league. I didn't see that, but that's encouraging. I like that. Elijah Moore, yeah, man. I'm loading up. Personally on Elijah Moore right now. I think like one bit of positive camp buzz or like coach speak index, he's going to fly up the board. So I'm trying to load up on Elijah Moore right now personally. MBS was the last pick. I don't like Ladd pick, drafting a wide receiver 2 in the 2nd round. Yeah, I'm not a huge drafter of Ladd McConkey at that price either. I'll take him with my CeeDee Lamb teams where they pair up in week 16. I don't mind doing that, but I am pretty light. And my Nico, week 17 matchup with Nico Collins. Other than that, I'm not really taking Ladd McConkey in the 2nd round personally. We got Steve Shop in the house. What's happening, man? Appreciate you popping in. I'm doing well. Appreciate you coming in. Hitting for late RBs pays off a lot. I always go 6 RBs, rather short the tight end position. Yeah, that's fine. Like, tight end is the place to punt really. Like the average tight end score is like 8 points. So I would, I just think you invested the capital is the big reason why I would have a hard time clicking a 6th running back. Obviously the injury is the big concern with the running back position, but yeah, like it's just like certain types of build. Anytime I can stop at 2 quarterbacks, I do. Anytime I can stop at 2 running tight ends, I do. Anytime I can stop at 5 running backs, I do. So that's kind of the way that I like to build my teams. Wide receiver is kind of where I typically will take that 8th. I'm never drafting 6 wide receivers personally. I know the 3-6-6-3 is the new, but I'm not doing that at all. But again, like 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 2 tight ends. If I ever feel like I can stop at those numbers, I do. So that's kind of just my thing. Let's jump into another puppy. 20-second clock. Waiting on 9, so tons of room. Water's warm. Come on in. I got my last red stripe here. One little lonely red stripe in the fridge, so figured I'd pop it open. For the draft, we're full. Should be a friends and family affair. The 6th spot, don't mind that. We've got King of Kings again at the 4 spot. Frank's over there. We got Darkside Dev in the 11 spot, and that's it. That's it. I thought there'd be more friends and family in here, but that's okay. I'm happy to hopefully get some EV a little bit. I do like being 6th. I do like drafting 6th overall. It's just super easy. Give me whoever's left. I just don't even really care. I'm going to balance out my exposures, whatever it is. I do think that this is the set in stone top 6. You know, you could make a case for Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, if he is back to full health and he's the guy again, then yeah, he's a smash at the 1-1. He's a smash. But, you know, we're still getting our exposure to Christian McCaffrey as well. He's the kind of guy that you could flip the board with. Not necessarily much anymore. You could take him at like 2nd overall, 3rd overall, and flip the board that way. But I'm just taking these 6. And whoever's left, that's who I take. Steve got in the overflow. Oh, no. We're waiting on like 10. How is there an overflow? Crazy. Crazy. The overflow might be just super negative EV out there. Super friends and family. Who would it be cool to get? I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really care. Either one. Either one's fine. CeeDee Lamb it is. I take CeeDee Lamb at 2nd overall, so anytime I get him at 6, I feel like that's stealing. So let's do that. Index of Suspicion is in the overflow as well. Man, that overflow draft must be super negative EV. Sorry, guys. Apologies. Maybe there's some more in the draft room. I'm not sure. If you're in the draft and haven't called you out, let me know. A lot of badgeless, which we're seeing a lot in the puppy streets right now, which is good to see. It's good to see people coming into best ball right now. It does throw some curveballs at you at times, which is fine. You got to be nimble. You got to be prepared to do something different. You got to be prepared to zag. Maybe we'll talk about some of the starts. We didn't really talk about that in the first draft. Derrick Henry. We are going to go Ruttenhard. It's a weird name. We are going to go with Lad if he's there. And he is there. Let's go with Lad McConkey. So this is like the rare time I'll take Lad. Pair him up with CeeDee Lamb for week 16. Just a little bit of bring back action. It's in Dallas, so indoor game as well. And I do like Dallas's offense, so theoretically it could be a high-scoring game. It's kind of just one of the rare times that I am taking Lad McConkey, realistically. I think it's just Index, King QC, and I. So hopefully we'll get the 2 spots between the 3 of us. There you go. Yeah, probably. I mean, this one will probably be Frank, me, or Dark Side advancing, most likely, hopefully. That's who I'm rooting for, obviously. So we're leveling out some exposures is the big thing. Level out some exposures. Yeah, I think I have, I don't know, after this, I'll have what, 18 more or something like that? No, 15, 16 more, something like that of the Puppy 2. So I'll be ripping those a little bit off stream after we're done. After this draft, I'll be ripping some Puppy 2s off stream. Trying to get to my 50 is where I want to be. I might not even do the Puppy 3. We'll see, because there's a lot of tournaments coming out. I'm just realizing how much I have invested already and how many more Best Ball Manias I have to draft. So pocketbook's getting a little light. I'll say that. So we gotta be a little more picky with our entries, is the way I'm feeling about it right now. I was gonna take Josh Allen there, actually. I was gonna take Josh Allen. I think I did this earlier today, and I took Devontae instead of let's take JSN. Let's do that. Yeah, I should have taken Terry McLaurin, but that's okay. And I took Devontae Adams. I was in this exact situation earlier today, and I took Devontae Adams. So let's do it with JSN now. Mix it up a little bit. My timing is good. I have a good feel for the delay. There you go. It's only like 4 seconds or something. I don't know. Just take profits from your crypto. I do not do crypto. So house money right now must be nice. I'm not a big crypto guy at all. So yeah, jealous I am. Yeah, I need to relax on drafting. I've been working OT just to support this habit. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. It's with realistically, the big difference for me this year to last year is the kind of ancillary contest that I am playing this year. The weekly winners, the sprint, the eliminator. I wasn't doing any of those last year. So now it's that's what's kind of eating into my bankroll, as opposed to puppies, poodles, Best Ball Mania, that kind of stuff. Man, it would have been Kittle right there for me, but okay. Let's do, feel like it's got to be James Cook. I just think there's a kind of clear tier break after James Cook. So let's do that. I like the bye week too. Bye week 7's a good one to kind of get under your belt. So yeah, that's the big difference for me. I want to get, and the thing is too, I want to get like 50 of each of those. Well, the weekly winners, I think I'm just going to do 25, and I'm almost there. I think I'm at like 17 or 18. So I'll only do a few more, and then rookies and sophomores as well. So throw rookies and sophomores in there. I might cut it back to, I was thinking about doing 50 rookies and sophomores, but how different can you really get on the rookies and sophomores is kind of the way I look at it. It's similar to playoff best ball. So I think I might only do 25 of those, and then get 25 weekly winners, definitely at least 50 eliminators, and I might cut down on the sprints that I was going to do. Like realistically, if I can advance like 2 or 3 sprints into like the immediate finals, yeah, it's a 9,300 person final, but at least you have like a fun sweat regardless. That's why I think that tournament's fun. So I do want to get, at least like 25 sprints in, and theoretically I should be able to advance at least like 1 or 2, I would hope. If not, then fuck, I am really not as good as I think I am. So if I could advance 2 or 3 sprint teams into the final and kind of have a fun little sweat there, then that's all I'm really interested there. And you never know, hopefully you can bank something. I think I got to go Chuba here. Get a little bit of volume. Plus, it's a bring back for JSN. I don't mind that. Let's do that. Let's do that. So that's been the big difference for me this draft cycle. I think I'm at like pushing my 75, pushing halfway to Best Ball Mania. So I need my bonus, my work bonus to come through. It's on the way soon. So hopefully that comes through. That'll help. But yeah, definitely digging into the piggy bank this year for the Best Ball bankroll. That's for sure. Fingers crossed we bink something big this year because Daddy needs it. Literally, Daddy needs it. Baby on the way. Let's go. Would be a really good time. Really good time for that to happen. So, fingers crossed. So we got to start. Well, not really. I'm in a good spot for quarterbacks. Don't really need to worry too much about it. But I do kind of want to think about some stack options, some bringbacks, things like that. Open doors at quarterback as well. In a pretty good spot for running back, but yeah, again, if it's a bring back, then it should make some sense or could make some sense. This is a nice wide receiver range. Mind you, Caleb Johnson is fine. I just click him a lot. DeAndre Swift would be a quality click here. This guy probably takes Jennings. Yeah. That was going to be my click most likely. Let's bring up Swift then. Let's get a share of DeAndre Swift. I don't have him enough and definitely not in this tournament. So let's get a share of DeAndre Swift. Yeah, let's do that. I'm a big fan of the sprint because I think if you play it kind of like a safer BBM and focus on advancing good teams, it will be a plus ROI tournament. I think so as well. I think it's a really, like I kind of think it's like a less safe BBM, as in you focus on correlating weeks 15, 16, 17. And if you advance, you have 3, I did a sprint episode a few weeks back. It's in the, obviously it's on the channel somewhere. Cheetah, Tyreek Hill's on the thumbnail, where I kind of laid out my, kind of strategy. I do want to stack good teams, but I want bringbacks in weeks 15, 16, and 17. I want some sort of correlated matchup there. It doesn't have to be the same team every time, like I kind of did in the previous draft with the Bengals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Where I kind of had Tampa Bay in week 17, Bengals week 16 and 15. Stuff like that is what I like to do in the sprint. I kind of want to, similar to BBM, like I want to win all the money if I get there, If I get there, if I advance, I want to win all the money. So that's kind of the way I've been playing that. Let's do weird spot. I was going to take Jaden Higgins, but let's do Matthew Golden. No, let's do Laporta. Does give us another quarterback option, but that's not really why I'm taking him. I'm just taking him because I want some shares. And I do like Laporta this year. So let's do that. This might be a 3-5-7-3 type of a deal, but we'll see what we end up doing at quarterback. So that's kind of what I'm doing with the sprint, though. Yeah, I'm playing it like 3 DFS lineups. That's the way I do it. Weeks 15, 16, 17 are 3 DFS lineups, and I want them correlated. I want bringbacks. I want double stacks, that kind of thing. That's the way I'm playing the sprint, where, if I advance my team, I want to win all the money. So I want a shot at winning all the money, So that's kind of the way I'm playing the sprint. But if you want to go back and watch my sprint episode, probably worth a watch, I think. If you like the take and you agree, then check it out. I'm unfamiliar with the sprint, one of those edge games like Baccarat. I don't know how to play Baccarat. It's like one of the only casino games I have no idea how to play. But it's just a different, like if you advance, you're automatically in the finals. There's no pod, there's nothing. So every team that advances, there's 9,300 teams that advance into weeks 15, 16, 17. And then it's the 3 weeks cumulative. So all 3 weeks, add up your scores. And then that's how it's paid out, essentially. So it's a fun sweat if you're, within shouting distance of first place. Then it's a fun sweat for 3 weeks. And again, you're just instantly in the finals, which is a pretty fun way to go about it, I think. So we're going to do Igbuka, bring in Tampa Bay. I don't love that Baker's already gone, but that's okay. Let's bring in Igbuka here. Yeah. Yeah, when I was saying safer BBM, I meant less focus on week 17, focus more on weeks 15, 16. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I do all three. I agree. I focus on all 3 weeks. I want a double stack bring back in every single week. I want a DFS lineup in every single week. So again, if you want to go watch the episode, check it out. Probably worth a watch. No safe con wearing a best ball. That's right, man. Try to win all the money. Best ball streets, all gas, no brakes, Steve. My biggest focus for the sprint is teams that have good total playoff schedules. Yeah, that too. Like I like the Rams, obviously. I like the Bucks. I like Miami, actually. A lot of people don't. I like the Bengals. There's a lot of quality teams, but yeah, I agree with that. And I want bringbacks in all of those games, right? So yeah, focus on the quality matchups, the quality games, and then get your bringbacks, and then you have your DFS lineups. That's how I'm doing it. It doesn't mean I'm right, wrong, or in between, but that's kind of just the way I'm doing it and focusing on. Where are we? Would have been Justin Fields. Garrett Wilson drafter. Frank takes him. That's fair. I always like to do Fields in these types of builds. But let's just do Dak. Let's lock it up. Let's lock up the Dak Prescott with CeeDee Lamb. I don't feel too comfortable falling behind, at least not that far at quarterback. And Dak still gives me an outside option at stopping at 2. Not very likely, but it is somewhat of an outside option. So we'll see who else I'm able to get in this quarterback room. It starts to get really uncomfortable if you don't draft your first quarterback until round 10. Unless you can get Dak there, which you can a lot of times. It's just I'm not really willing to take the risk right now with this roster. Yeah, I'm not willing to take that risk. If Fields were there, I would have taken Fields over Dak, actually, and just hope that he made it back to me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Not the end of the world, but that's the way I would have went about this one. Yeah. Trey Harris would have been cool if he fell to me, but was certainly not expecting that. That's for sure. If week 17 was tomorrow, what info that we have was percentage Baker, Mike will have to be in the winning lineup. But how is it going to be receiver that day? I'm confused by this. What do you mean? Do you mind clarifying that a tad bit for me? Drake May, is it auto click here? Or do I just take Herbert? pivot. Maybe I take Justin Herbert, but then who do I take right now? Let's do that. Oh, wanted to switch it up for a tight end, but that's okay. So now I'm not going to take Herbert. This is good enough for me. I'm going to stop at 2. I probably should not have gone Drake May there. I don't think that's the right click. I don't think that's the right selection there. Any tight end would have been better. Any one of these tight ends I think would have been fine. Even Christian Kirk would have been better. But Warren, Njoku, Andrews, all would have been better clicks. Even Kraft, I think all would have been a better click there than Drake May. Because even if Herbert goes, I could still bring in Stroud and then get a late Houston piece. I think that was probably a mistake, but I can and even if it was Herbert, I could still stop at 2 quarterbacks. That's for sure. So that's okay. That's okay. It is what it is. No worries, man. Just what do you mean? If week 17 was tomorrow with info that we have, was percentage Baker, Mike Will to be in the winning lineup? What percentage was Baker and Mike Williams? Is that what you mean? Mike Williams was like a 0%. Baker, I think, could very well be in the winning lineup. There goes Herbert, obviously. That's fine. Let's pull up Mike Williams, I guess, or Kyle Williams, I mean. Let's pull up Kyle Williams. I don't like that, how that went down. Herbert probably still goes, I guess. I don't know why, but he probably still goes there to the badge list. I guess I could just take Stroud. Yeah, if I went even Christian Kirk right there instead of May and then go Stroud. Yeah. I think I made some minor mistakes, but that's okay. That happens. If week 17 were tomorrow with the info we have today, what percentage would Baker Mayfield have of being in the winning lineup, and who would be the highest scoring receiver that day? I mean, that's a loaded question. Like, we don't have any kind of information that would point us in the right direction today. So, I mean, percentage wise with Baker Mayfield against I would say, like, I'm writing with my child in hand. All right, no worries. I would say like Baker, I don't know, percentage wise, I would give him a better than average percent to be in the winning lineup. So what percent would a single quarterback have? Let's say there's 10 legitimate viable options of being the quarterback that you need in week 17. And let's obviously say Baker Mayfield is one of them. I don't know. I'd probably give that at like 20%, maybe 15 to 20% that Baker Mayfield could be the quarterback that you need week 17. And if then that's the case, then it's probably Tyreek that would be the highest scoring wide receiver that week if Baker is the guy you need, right? If Baker's not the guy you need, then that's I have no idea who the wide receiver could be. But let's base it on the fact that Baker Mayfield is that quarterback that you need. Then I would say that Tyreek Hill is probably the guy, or Waddle, just because the Tampa Bay offense is less condensed than the Miami Dolphins offense. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to make this pick, and then we'll wrap up this little conversation. Let's do Jake Ferguson if he's there, which he should be. So yeah, since the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense is less condensed than Miami Dolphins, I'd give a better opportunity for the Miami Dolphins wide receivers to be the higher scoring wide receivers that week if Baker Mayfield is the quarterback that you need. So like the Bucs could score in a lot of different ways. Like, let's say Baker throws a touchdown pass to Cade Otton, one to Mike Evans, one to Bucky, and one to Igbuka. or he runs one in, which is very on the table. So let's say that's what happens and it's a shootout. Then I would say the Miami Dolphins side being so condensed, then it's like Tyreek Hill getting, 150 and 2 or Waddle getting 150 and 2. So if that's the scenario that we're working with, I would say about 15 to 20% Baker Mayfield could be the quarterback that you need. I have a lot of Baker Mayfield personally for that reason. And then if that's the case, I would say Tyreek or Waddle, probably higher percentage towards Tyreek because obviously. So yeah, long-winded. Hopefully that adds up, makes sense. I think Cody's right. 15 to 20% sounds good. And Tyreek Evans and Godwin. I would say Tyreek and Waddle personally. Again, just the condensation of the Miami Dolphins offense versus the less condensed nature of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is the way I would think about that. I'm probably going to stop at 2 tight ends here. Probably. Let's get a Washington bring back. Let's do Austin Eckler. Let's get a Washington bring back for our Dallas stack, double stack. That sounds good. Sounds fun. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop at 2 because I'm kind of falling behind at wide receiver. But I mean, the top 5 here, the top 4, definitely my top 3. That's more what's really in a good spot. But beyond that, rookies, I think I need 8 here. So 2, 6, 8, 2 is where we're going. That's where we're going. That's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to live. Welcome home. 2, 6, 8, 2. Yeah, that's what it's got to be. And then just hope and pray. I don't think I'll be able to get a bring back on the Miami's or the Minnesota side for Dallas. Jets, Baltimore, Buffalo. I have a bring back with Buffalo week 15 there. So that's my bring back for week 15. Then I've got my bring backs week 16, 17. So similar type of a build, which is again, something I like to do both in the sprint, Best Ball Mania, puppies, everything. It's a structure that I like to kind of focus on. But I don't think Baltimore or the Jets, I don't think I'll be able to get any correlation there. It just doesn't make sense. I don't want to add, I mean, I could bring in, mind you, I could bring in Mason Taylor. But that would force me to stop at probably 7 wide receivers, which is possible. That's not the end of the world. Pop Douglas makes a lot of sense. Actually, that could be really fun. That could be really fun. I might do that. Mason Taylor's still on the board. 2 wide receivers and then the tight end bring back. That's kind of fun. Rookie with Laporta and Jake Ferguson. Yeah, that could work. Then I get a little better. That's a better correlated game, I feel like, than the Washington, running back bring back for the wide receiver and tight end with Dallas. I still think I need 6 running backs. Mind you, I could stop at 5, I guess, too. Interesting options we've got on the table here. I can go a lot of different ways, I feel like. I don't think I have to force anything. Love the answer. That means Baker naked is a good pick with correlations with the Miami wide receivers. I personally think that that's a way that you can play a lot of different builds and correlation. I know that people disagree with me on that, but I don't really care. I think that that's a viable strategy, especially if you get like locked out. This is fun. I get to take Tank Bigsby here. That way behind ADP. I like that. That actually makes me more likely to maybe stop at 5 running backs. But I think that's a viable strategy. So I do it a lot with the Detroit and the Minnesota game, actually, where let's say I take Justin Jefferson and I get Hawkinson or Addison or something, and then I get like either Amon-Ra or Jameson Williams or maybe Laporta, right? Like any combination of those guys. And then I'll just take the other quarterback naked, but it's a double bring back. So it should be a shootout of a game. It should be a fun game. And it's a similar answer with the Bucks, right? And I do that with the Cincinnati Bengals as well. I talk about that all the time where, you know, if I have like the Tyreeks, the Zay Flowers, the McBrides, the Marvin Harrisons, the Waddles, if I have those quality bringbacks for the Cincinnati side, I'll take Joe Burrow. I'll take him naked, and it's a horrible pick or whatever. I have those quality bringbacks already built in, so I can get Gesicki and Yoshivas late, which I think is fine. I think it's a viable strategy. And let's go Mason Taylor here. I think this is fun. This is becoming a fun team. It's kind of worked out. 2, 6, 7, 3, I think, is the way that this is going to go, but we'll see what we end up with. So yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's fine because you can always get Cade Otton, you know, super late. You can get Jalen McMillan, right, who's still viable. So yeah, you can take them naked, but I would recommend like bringing in some sort of correlated pass catcher, like with the Bengals. Like you don't have to take both Yoshivas and, you know, Gesicki. You could take one of them, you know, and you have those bringbacks, the high caliber, top quality bringbacks in the offenses, right? Let's say you have Tyreek and Trey McBride, and you don't have T or Jamar Chase, and you get Burrow. I think that's fine. Then you bring in, say, Mike Gesicki, and that's it. Or sorry, maybe Yoshivas, and that's it. I'd rather, or let's say it's Harrison. Let's say you have Marvin Harrison and Tyreek Hill, and then you bring in Joe Burrow, and then, you know, back it up with Gesicki. I think that's perfectly fine and viable. And I think that like having that exposure in your portfolio is strong. I think that's perfectly fine and very strong. I think I'm going to stop at 5 running backs here, guys. I am going to stop at 5 running backs. I don't need any more 30, 40% get-ins, 30, 40% Brashard Smith, you know, Jarquez Hunter's there. Cool. But I'm going to go with some wide receivers here. Bring some adults into my room a little bit. Yoshivas is a click. Let's do Elijah Moore because, again, actually I have. Let's do Yoshivas because I have James Cook. I don't need Elijah Moore here. Let's go Yoshivas. Yeah, then we're going to bring in one more. Doesn't have to be a rookie, that's for sure. I've got Igbuka. I've got Kyle Williams. I've got a couple rookies here. I've got Mason Taylor. Lots of correlation. I don't need any more correlation. I don't really need to force anything. This could be the type of lineup where I would take a Restrepo, like we said, but I'm not going to with 2 by week 10 wide receivers already. I don't need to force in Restrepo here where it really doesn't make a ton of sense. Adonai Mitchell could make some sense. Tutu could make some sense. Same thing with Coker, like 2 by week 14, obviously with my New England. I don't think I need to force it in with Coker. Trying to get a little bit of Jalen Lane over here, but I'm not going to click him here. I think Parker Washington is a guy I should probably keep on the radar a little bit. Let's bring in Wicks. I haven't drafted him at all in this tournament, so let's bring in Dontavian Wicks. Not really much for correlation. There's some Chicago. Yeah, just works for our bye weeks, and I'd like to get a little bit of exposure to him in this tournament. That's for sure. So yeah, finished 2,583. Again, same. I think that's the same structure. Dak, Drake May, James Cook, Hubbard, Swift, Eckler, Bigsby. We got CeeDee Lamb, McConkey, JSN, Igbuka, Kyle Williams, DeMario Douglas, Yoshi Voss, Wicks, Laporta, Ferguson, and Mason Taylor. That's fun. That's a fun squad, I think. That's a fun squad. We're going to get out of here. We're almost at 2 hours. Some good chat, pre-show, 2 drafts. I'm going to be ripping some puppy 2s off stream, starting basically right now. What do we got going on this week? Baby room's almost done, so I'm going to wrap that up, and I'll be able to stream a little bit more frequently. I've been kind of, lackluster a little bit as far as that goes. So we'll try to get back on it. I don't think I have any appearances coming on. Well, the Jeopardy, once that gets going, or someone, I'm not sure who's going this week or what the schedule's like, but managed to somehow pull a horseshoe out of my ass and move on. So I'll be in the semifinals of Jeopardy. Shout out Fanspeak. Steve's over here. Appreciate you. We're going to get out of here. I'll be live again either Monday, Tuesday in the next couple of days. Hit that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you're new and you like the content. We're going to get out of here. Like we always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right. We banked the puppy too. Have yourselves a great